Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, go the updates. Really excited for today's video. The beer's courtesy of Steven. Thank you so much, Steven. I really appreciate it. And it's a new to me brewery and a newer brewery in general. This is Phantom is the name of the brewery. Phantom Brewing is the name of the brewery. And the beer is called Mr. Brownstone. Wow, I swear I can read. Mr. Brownstone English Brown Ale, and it's 5% ABV. It is Tuesday, so I'm trying to test my palate. I do like a nice brown ale. I haven't had one in a while. And I was thinking about this earlier today, kind of thinking about which beer I wanted to drink, and I was thinking of this one. And it reminds me of I almost hate to say it, but like a simpler time where I would go to a brewery and they'd have, a flight with 4 beers. You'd get like the, golden or the pale ale first, and then maybe a brown ale was the second one, and then IPA, double IPA, and then maybe their, stout or whatever. I don't know, it's kind of like in the best possible way, nostalgic, but also like just excited to drink a style that I used to drink a lot of. Jeez, dirty glass. Really dirty. I swear I just washed it. About 2.5 fingers of head. It's a beautiful light mocha color head, and the beer itself is pretty brown. It's what's really nice about this, and maybe this doesn't translate for people who mostly just drink beer to enjoy it instead of like talk about and dissect it, or at least overly talk about and overly dissect it. Some of these like stouts, whatever kind of stout, I kind of try to, look at it. Is it, really dark brown approaching black? Is it black with a little bit of brown lightness in there, motor oil black, whatever? So it is kind of just from almost like resetting my, how I, speak about what I'm seeing and tasting and smelling and all that. It's really refreshing to see a beer that is brown and be like, yeah, this is, and honestly, I'd probably call it dark brown, which means I need to kind of tweak maybe how I'm describing some of the other beers moving forward. I know that's a lot of words that probably, whatever, don't mean much to someone just watching for the review, but the short version is it looks beautiful. It looks, like a brown ale should. I really like that head. It's got good retention, but as it's going down, it is leaving just a beautiful lacing on the glass. I love the look of it. See about the aroma. All right, tell you what. So far, it's got the look and it's got the smell. It's really nice, and this is a really good beer for me to be doing on a day where I'm trying to challenge myself. It has a very faint coffee. There's I hate to keep saying faint or slight or little, but that's what's coming. Caramel to it as well. There's that earthy, wet, woodsy, not barrel-aged wet wood, but like mulch that's, you get to like the middle of a bag, and it's still wet. It's which I know doesn't probably sound like that's a good smell in a beer, but like it's very faint of that, but it's got that kind of an earthy note. Kiss of brown sugar, but it's not an overly sweet smelling beer. You mentioned sugar, and then I know the mind is going to go to sweet, and it's not quite, and I said caramel as well. It's definitely not an overly sweet beer, but I think that brown sugar, caramelized sugar thing is what I'm trying to get at, but without it being too sweet. And a little bit of chocolate powder, almost like you just sprinkled a little bit on. Like I said, it looks the part, it smells the part. Let's see if it tastes the part. Cheers. Thanks again, Steven, for sending it. The taste is pretty spot on. It might be, I don't know, 10% more muted than I'd want it to be. But it's like 90% exactly what I think a brown, and again, this is just my take on it. It's like really close to being exactly what I think a brown ale tastes like. Which I mean is a compliment. I don't know if it comes across that way. It does have that little bit of roast. The coffee from the aroma is definitely more of a roasty, light chocolate thing, dark chocolate. But yeah, and that's kind of, this beer gets better. Like as you're like you take the sip, it starts good, and then it gets better, and then even the aftertaste is really good. So it's like kind of like just a cool ascension, and beers have different things they give you. Sometimes it's a roller coaster up and down. Sometimes it's that sweetness and then the bitterness pops up and then it ends dry or something. This one, and I've only done the first sip, the one sip. Again, it starts good and then it just goes up for me. It's a pretty cool experience that way. Like the flavor intensifies for sure. Yeah, the same thing happened again. And I'm glad I harped on this with the aroma, that it's not overly sweet, but there are those brown sugar notes. There's more of the caramel notes, but definitely a little bit of brown sugar. It's got that almost rye kind of a taste. It's not quite as spicy as I think rye tastes, but it's definitely got that little bit of spiciness, but definitely has like that. If you took away the spiciness, what's left of the rye, I tell you what, after the second sip, I'm gonna bump that up. This is pretty darn spot on to what I think a brown ale tastes like. I'm thinking part of it for me is it's just been a while since I've had the style, and some of the bigger beers that I typically drink, something like this, it's a perspective thing, I really like that I mentioned how it goes up in intensity. That was true again, but it has that flavor. Yeah, okay, that's on me. It took me a couple sips to kind of recalibrate. Like, yeah, no, this is what this beer is. It's not supposed to be a 10% brown ale. It's a brown ale. Yeah, this is good. And I like that caramel note is really singing. I like it. Yeah. Okay. Well done. This is a good first one. I think Steven sent. There's at least 2 more from this brewery. There might have been 4 total, so I might have 3 more, but I definitely have at least 2 more. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for those ones based on this one. And again, perfect beer to do on a Tuesday trying to test my palate. Have you had anything from this brewery before? Have you had a brown ale lately? What are your thoughts on tasting notes for a traditional brown ale? Thanks again, Steven, for setting the beer. But anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.